say, you know?
My wife dropped Billy and I back off at the trailhead. I heard a lot about and finally met Tie-Dye. She's following her boyfriend Moon hiking at the PCT this year. She was doing trail magic and offering shuttles.
Awesome. Sounds good.
You know how it is when you're a vlogger. There were a lot of services and resources for hikers. There's a trail register that had some pretty sick snacks in there. Grapes and chips for some reason, and salsa, but okay. Anyways, there's a water cache attached to it, maintained by Beekeeper and Honeybee. We ended up meeting them, and the day after, they did some pretty sick trail magic for us. So we are finally back on the trail. We've been at the trailhead for the last couple hours. Keep running into people and meeting new people and trail magic. So I met Tie-Dye, and that was cool. So grabbed a bracelet and a beer from her. Is it just me, or does he look like a Hitler spaceman?
Carl, we're supposed to be on vacation!
I don't know about you, but I am having a wonderful time here.
So I think the plan for today is just to Nero out of Big Bear. We heard there's a stream about 6 miles up, and then after that it's like a 15-20 mile water carry. So we're thinking we're probably going to stay near there tonight. That first day out of town, your back's always super heavy, so never mind a Nero on the first day back. I honestly have no idea what this dude is preparing for, but this compound seems well prepared with all kinds of equipment and wind turbine and everything. When my wife came to visit me in Big Bear, she dropped off a fresh pair of shoes. We just heard from some day hikers there was going to be donkeys around the corner, so they gave us a heads up. It was pretty cool to see those wild donkeys. Our hike out of Big Bear started off nice and gentle. There was a guy mountain biking on the trail, which you're not supposed to do, but so far it's the first one we ran into. We're about 1 mile from where we're hoping to camp tonight. Basically the first water crossing or stream out of Big Bear heading southbound. We are hoping we can find a site somewhere near the water there. We've run into a bunch of people today that we had seen in other sections of the trail, and some people we haven't seen since mile 77. So it's been so neat to see how much we all got shuffled around and keep running into each other. We already found a few more blowdowns. So this is the trail / fire road in this section. And yeah, Billy and I were able to find a dry spot nearby and set up our tents for the night. Got a little chilly last night. Still got some ice in the water. Shoes are a little frosty. I didn't sleep with my filter last night, but I probably should have. But when I checked it this morning, there's a little ice on the lip, but water flowed through it really, really easily, just like normal. So I think I'm solid. Caught it just in time. About a mile after the Aristry Trail Camp, you hit a fire road and you walk on that for a minute. Man, there's a couple arrows there that were really throwing people off. We saw a lot of people heading northbound that were going down the wrong road, so make sure you take your time, maybe check far out before you head off on one of those sides. There's been a few little patches of snow this morning, but nothing noticeable, like considerable at least. So Billy and I just filled up with the most water that we've carried so far on trail. Our goal today is to go to Coon Cabin, and so we are actually gonna have to carry water for the night. There's no water until a few miles afterwards, and right after which there's a lot of snow, so it'll be slow going. So I'm carrying 4 liters, and I think Billy's carrying similar. So let's see if we find a little stream further up and can top off. We made it to the camp here this morning, and we checked the spigot for everyone coming through, and it's not on yet. This would be a pretty cool spot to stay before you're pushed northbound into Big Bear. There's a fire pit, a couple picnic tables. There's a few pretty flat spots, and then a lot that are slightly sloping but totally doable. Sometimes the best stream crossing isn't the actual trail. Make sure that you look around a little bit. It's always interesting to me to see how many people you meet on the trail that aren't through hiking. And it's really interesting to find out what they're doing on the trail. This morning we came across 3 ladies. They were out here scouting a route for a race, or not really a race, they said more of a hike. And it's for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We ended up having to hike about a mile further than we were hoping to hike last night, but we ended up getting a really cool campsite, so it's not a big deal. Overall, it's been a beautiful morning, all uphill, and we've had a pretty long water carry, so there's that going for us. Trail magic? Well, I don't mind if I do. Wow, now this is some trail magic.
It was more than I was expecting. A bit too steep.
Now this is some serious trail magic. All right, this is the now defunct zoo. They used to have like grizzly bears and all kinds of things that were retired from movies. So you're gonna cross the road and there's this big wooden archway thing. There's a little stream running just past there on the trail. There it is. So I made up my iced coffee for the morning, so that way it's one less thing to do. And I'm hoping that it's gonna freeze tonight, at least partially, so that way I actually have ice in my iced coffee. I just took a couple melatonin and I'm getting ready to lay down. We're gonna wake up super early. We have about 2 miles or so before Coon Creek Cabin, and then it looks like it's gonna be pretty snowy after that. So we're gonna wake up at 5, get started by 6, and hopefully get through that section nice and early. So it looks like we have about 9 miles of snow this next day. That's why we spent the night here. Good morning, happy hikers. So Bill and I woke up at 5 and we're hiking shortly after 6 a.m. We put on our micro spikes right from the start. We saw everyone coming down last night and this morning wearing spikes. We figured it was probably a good idea. Anyways, we got off trail a little bit and ended up climbing up one of the ridge lines covered in snow. It was actually pretty fun. Made it to Coon Creek Cabin. Granted, we went over like 3 different ridge lines and didn't take the trail, but off trail is just as fun, right? So that little section all by itself was worth having the ice axe for. So, mwah. So I'm not even gonna front. That was definitely some work on that area. So it was patchy for about 6 or 7 miles so far. And 2 of those miles were pretty sustained snow. Just ice axe, trekking pole, micro spikes, and going nice and slow through it. Billy and I both felt pretty comfortable. Staring contest. You versus me. Start.
Quick, staring contest. Me and you, now.
Garlic. They do the same. With my Parmesan. Oh, it's gonna be a wet day, no?
So unlike most mornings, we actually decided to take the morning off. So it's like 7 o'clock. Billy and I both slept in until after 6. We're gonna take another hour or two here, relax, and then we're gonna start going down the streams. We're only gonna go, I think, 8 to 10 miles down. Look at this cute little guy. So yesterday we got into camp early enough, so I decided to do laundry and take a little shower. So as I'm getting all washed up, I washed the top half of my body first. Then as I'm getting ready to wash the second half, the bottom half of my body, a dude walks in. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna take a quick shower, so I'm gonna drop my boxers real quick, man. Just give him a warning. He's like, oh, no worries. What he doesn't tell me is he has 4 more friends that were hiking in behind him. So as I'm literally there, pants off, give myself a nice quick little shower, literally 4 more people roll in. And what's nuts is we had been there and there hadn't been anyone for hours.
I'm gonna pincushion this guy.
Man, right after that last clip, I just got stung by a frickin' bee.
Oh, I'm here. Oh, Lordy, I'm here.
So last night, some chick came into camp a little bit late saying that she was walking down the trail and she was stung by an aggressive bee. And in my mind, I kind of dismissed it. I'm like, oh, she was probably walking close to their hive or something. No, man, this section, they just got some asshole bees. Came up and stung me through my glove. And so luckily I had my glove on. I was able to pull up on the glove and get the stinger out like right away. And then I got the little bit that had broken off right out too. So hopefully it's not too big of a dose, but I've never been stung by a bee before. So I guess we're gonna find out if I'm allergic or not, huh? Then I'm not sure if I'm being paranoid or not, but I feel like as I stopped after I got stung by that bee to get it out, that other bee started following me too. So I'm not sure if it's some pheromone thing or if I'm just being paranoid now.
I was asking what was the best trail magic we had so far.
I got it.
So far, it's been a lot of fun crossing Mission Creek. We've already crossed it a few times. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure. There's so many different paths you can take. People are popping in and out of bushes. It's kind of fun. You never know where someone's gonna pop out at. Some sections are overgrown, but it's been pretty easy to navigate it. We've heard everything from 26 crossings to 720. So we're gonna keep count and let's see how many we actually cross. Little frog right here, guys. It seemed like there'd be a bunch of little crossings, and then we get a few-minute break kind of walking up on the side and on the ridge before we go back in and cross a few more times. As we dropped lower and lower through Mission Creek towards the Whitewater Preserve, a lot of the plants started to change and a lot more bloom. Water sources are definitely starting to dry up soon. Little velvet ant just hiding down there. It's actually a type of wasp. This looks like a dinosaur from Jurassic Park. Dinner, I have one of these Knorr chicken and fried rice meals. I'm gonna add a pack of chicken, and I threw a little coconut oil. I put it in this freezer bag so I can add some boiling water and let it reconstitute that way. After it's finished reconstituting, kind of cooking in the bag, I'll add some instant mashed potatoes to thicken it up. And for dessert, I have unicorn marshmallow hot chocolate. What's for dinner, Billy?
I got sour cream and chives mashed potatoes, and I think I'm gonna mix it with this pink salmon.
There you go.
Maybe throw a ramen in there just to boost up the carbs.
There are so many bugs flying around, guys. It's absolutely insane. Dude, this guy's all cocked up. He's like chasing a grasshopper or something. Wow. If you just stay still, Billy, he won't bother you.
People have called me Robert in the past.
And after a good night's sleep, we're back at it again. More river crossings. This may have been our warmest night on the trail so far. There are a lot of rock cairns to kind of mark the trail at this point, so keep your eye out for those. This whole hillside was popping with grape soda lupines and different paintbrushes. I think this is a type of wild buckwheat, but I'm not 100%. This is either a Mojave or a banana yucca. I'm not 100% sure on which. There was a pretty cool pale swallowtail flying around, so I was trying to see if it would land on my finger. Guys, look at, they're Coulter snapdragons. Snapdragons are some of my favorite flowers. Hello, happy hikers. So last night we ended up going into our tents shortly after we cooked dinner. The bugs just got so bad, it was kind of brutal hanging out with them. So had a great night's sleep, woke up a little bit late, slept in, it was pretty nice. And then we had some coffee and relaxed in camp, chatted with some of the other hikers going through there. and we got started. We're almost done with the river crossings now. I think there's 2 more left, so that's what we've been warned. But I've been having a blast, to be honest. The trail really hasn't been that hard to find. People kind of made it out to be that it was going to be this horrible maze that you need to far out the whole time, and honestly, I don't think we've checked it. Overall, it's been a pretty cool hike through this section. I'm glad we split it into 2 days. As we're dropping in elevation, the bloom is just really kicking off, so we're moving kind of slow this morning because of me. Since we flipped up to Tehachapi and are heading back south again, I'm running into a lot of people that started after me. And so a lot of them, I think, were concerned because of the snow and everything else going on. So a lot of people watched my videos before they got started. And it's been crazy. I've literally met well over 200 of you guys now that have watched my videos, that have come up and said hi and thanked me for putting them together and kind of some of the information that's been in there. So I really want to just thank all of you that spent time to watch these videos and that have come up and said hello to me. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And even if you're gonna do your hike, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. And once you're done on your journey, go ahead and come back around and watch these videos, finish off my journey, and kind of leave me some comments and let me know how yours went. I'm super curious to catch up on everyone else's trips when I'm finished with mine. Made it through all of the river crossings. So the next one we have is the Whitewater River, and supposedly we can stay at the preserve there, and that they have flushing toilets, outlets to charge your stuff, and so I think we might swing by there and check it out. The next challenge, San Jacinto. All right, guys, we made it past the Whitewater River. It honestly was not that bad, so really don't stress yourself too much about it. As long as you take, your time, use your trekking poles, go slow. It's not a big deal at all. Everyone's been telling us to go to the Whitewater Preserve to camp there, and I think that's the plan for the evening. Billy's right behind me, and actually that used to be a trout farm, and it was the first place that I ever went fishing at with my Uncle Dan. So thanks again, Uncle Dan. This place has picnic tables, outlets, potable water, bathrooms, and camping. Hikers are allowed to camp anywhere south of the bathrooms over there. We are welcome and encouraged to hang out in the wading pool. Oh, nice and cold. What a place, guys, what a place. They have some super rare birds that nest here in the willows, and they have these feeders out for them. Came back with some beers.
Warning, severe trail damage ahead from recent storms. Visitors not advised to cross river as it is impassable.
The The wilderness must be explored. Ah, ah!
The wilderness must be explored. Go, go! Roar!
Hey there, happy hikers. So, we spent a wonderful night at the Whitewater Preserve. Highly recommend if you're passing through the area that you check it out. Even non-hikers will have a blast here. Anyways, we have about 10 miles that we're gonna be hiking today to get into Cabazon. One of Billy's friends is gonna come pick us up and let us zero at her house. So looking forward to getting there and having a shower and some real food. I haven't seen one of these in a while. Sodas are $1, guys. Put your money in the jar on top. But they have a great selection. Can you guys see him in there? He's all curled up. Yeah, walk around that bush, Billy. Yeah, go around him. For sure, you're good. First rattlesnake of the trip. So we just left the, I think it's the Mesa Wind Farm. I'll throw up the mile marker on the screen for you guys. And as we're heading southbound, we're going through some bushes. And I just get the vibe it's super snaky through here. And then I walk past a bush and all of a sudden it just starts rattling super loud. It rises on up and starts hissing at me. And luckily I walked past it, but it scared the crap out of me, man. It was like totally behind and under this bush that I couldn't see. And I've been looking for snakes, so watch out for snakes.
Watch out for snakes.
But yeah, it was really cool. We ran into a few other hikers just afterwards and gave them a heads up where it was. And they told me that they had just checked the thermometer and that they were carrying and it's over 100 degrees already. So it's a scorcher.